just make sure that you got this portion of the last video. Let's remember that t is time, is often represented by x, h or d is height and distance, and that's normally represented by the y. When an object hits the ground, it is at a height of 0. So quick visual, okay? Our height will always be on our y-axis. Our time will always be on our x. So if we are thinking about a parabola or a quadratic that we've been working with, if I want to know the time that it hits the highest point, I would want to find that time, and to do so, I would find my line of symmetry. Okay? If I want to find the actual height, okay, I would first find the time, and then I would have to plug my time in to find height. We're going to go over the example 1A through D right now. Please make sure that you are paying close attention to the vocabulary that's being used and what they're asking to find. This will challenge you to think of all of the different aspects that we have been working with quadratics and parabolas. Remember, maximum refers to the highest point. We'd like to identify the maximum. Okay? It is much simpler when a graph is given. We have to use the equation to first find the line of symmetry, which is locating halfway, then plug in to find our vertex. The line of symmetry, if you do not have this readily available or have not memorized it yet, is x equals opposite of b all over 2a. Now let's get started. We have a ball that's tossed into the air from the ground level that reaches a height of h feet, given by the equation h equals 144t minus 16t squared. The height of the ball after 3 seconds. Remember to pause the video at any time to allow the students to do the work, and then you can continue with the answers given. Part 3 or part C on your paper, find the number of seconds the ball is in the air when it reaches a height of 224 feet. Notice that we are working with our height is 224 feet, so that should go in for h in our equation. Those are quite large numbers, so if at all possible, I would like to reduce, noticing that -16 should come out of each of these. We are left with -14 equals a -9t plus t squared. Rearranging this to be in standard form, I would be left with t squared minus 9t plus 14 equals 0. Factoring, there is 2 times when my ball will reach a height of 224 feet. Notice that it is on its way up and on its way down. For part D, or problem 4 here on the board, how many seconds will the ball be in the air before it hits the ground? Remember that height of 0 is our ground. 0 equals 144t minus 16t squared. Remember, the greatest common factor that we are looking at would be 16 and a t. I'd be left with 9 minus t. Solving each aspect to find what t would be to make each 0, I would have t equals 0, and I would have t equals 9. Using these as examples, you should be able to work on your application of quadratic word problems.